This final lecture covers the afterword, reflections on the ride. The afterword does not introduce a new doctrinal framework, and instead it reflects on how far the subject has traveled, from a stormy encounter with consumer law, through academic and regulatory debates, to a broader public awareness that digital design can bend our choices. The afterword describes dark patterns as a topic alive, as the systems it critiques. That matters because the object of studying keeps moving. Platforms change their interfaces, AI systems learn new strategies, regulators issue guidance, then firms adapt. The afterword captures both exhaustance and agency. The field has matured, but the practices have also become more sophisticated. One of the afterward's strongest insights is that dark patterns give people a shared language for something they already feel. A user does not need advanced regulatory theory to recognize that a cancellation process feels wrong, that a consent banner seems rigged, or that a platform keeps pulling them back. Dark patterns translate abstract legal principles into tangible frustrations. In that sense, they became a gateway to legal literacy. The afterword insists that design is political. Choices about defaults, friction, prompts, ranking, and data collection allocate power. They decide who must spend effort, who benefits from confusion, and whose preferences matter. That is why deceptive design cannot remain a niche user experience issue. It belongs in debates about autonomy, markets, democracy, childhood, mental health, and the future of artificial intelligence. The afterword returns to children as a paradigmatic concern. AI-powered engagement loops, loot boxes, and in-app purchases can condition children to associate gratification with consumption. The harm is not only financial. These systems can affect autonomy, self-worth, and dependency. The afterword treats this as a design problem and a regulatory problem. Exploitation is not a bug when the system is optimized to produce it. The afterword also looks forward to agentic AI. If AI assistants navigate the web, accept cookies, make purchases, or handle tasks on our behalf, then the line between human agency and machine influence becomes less clear. The manipulative target may no longer be a human looking at a button. It may be an AI agent, a platform architecture, or the relationship between them. This is why the book's architectural framing becomes even more important. The afterword remains skeptical about law's capacity to deliver everything it promises. That skepticism is not defeatist. It recognizes that legislation often expresses aspirations while enforcement lags behind business models and technical change. Laws such as the AI Act and the Digital Services Act matter, but they cannot work without resources, technical capacity, institutional coordination, and a willingness to confront the incentives that make manipulation profitable. The potential for a Digital Fairness Act stands as an opportunity to move beyond surface-level fixes. The afterword argues that effective reform must tackle root causes and embed fairness and autonomy into the DNA of platforms. That requires policymakers, technologists, academics, designers, and civil society to create anticipatory frameworks, not merely retrospective enforcement tools. The afterword ends with a challenge to the reader. Do not stand on the sidelines. Designers, technologists, lawyers, students, and citizens all participate in the construction of digital life. The question is whether we passively accept the influence of systems we barely understand or actively shape technology to reflect our values and aspirations. The book's answer is that fairness requires courage, collaboration, and sustained attention. The series ends where the book ends, with frustration and hope. Frustration because manipulation remains pervasive and adaptive. Hope because dark patterns have become a symbol of a broader public awareness that our digital lives are worth protecting. The fight for fairness is difficult, but the afterword insists that it remains worth fighting for.